Welcome guys! Today I got a really interesting puzzle to show you. Now in this position it's white to move, and even though he's up a bishop, it's not easy to prove that white is winning here. Now the problem with this position is that this pawn is pretty important for white, and as you can see this pawn is defended, but these pawns together basically remove all the squares the king has, and if it weren't for these two black pawns, basically the game would end in a stalemate. So yeah, the black pawn is pretty straightforward here. He's just gonna try to push these pawns, basically gonna try to force white to take them, and then the game would be a draw. So now it's up to you. Pause the video and try to find the brilliant winning idea in this position. Okay, so hope you gave it a shot. Now this position is incredibly counterintuitive. It would be amazing if we could just take our bishop away from protecting this pawn. And after black takes, we could find a way to defend this pawn. However, it's a light squared pawn and our king is just way too far, so this isn't quite feasible. This would just be a draw. So instead we need to find another way, and perhaps one of the most natural moves here would be just king e2, trying to bring our king closer towards our pawns, but this doesn't work because of a very nice idea by black. Here you can play e5, and all of a sudden this diagonal is now closed. So his idea is that you'll just promote this pawn. We'll be kind of forced to take this pawn and then take the newborn queen, and the game will just be a stalemate because of all the pawn shenanigans here, and the bishop still covers this pawn. So this idea doesn't really work. I can show the variation. It would just go something like this. So going back, instead of king d2, we need to find another resource. And okay, since the bishop was kind of getting stuck here, you can claim that perhaps you can get the bishop to either one of these squares, and after e5 now, well, the bishop is no longer closed behind this pawn. However, e5 is still the move here, and you can see this e5 move is really a problem to deal with, because, well, now if we take the pawn, then this pawn just runs, and if we don't take it and play a move with our king, this pawn is going to be taken and this pawn is going to fall after. So again, this will just be a draw. So again, we need to find another idea. If you haven't found it already, again, my hint is that this e5 move is really a big problem. So the only way to stop it, well, is to put our bishop there. And this is a really nice move because it's the only way to win the game. Otherwise, e5 comes and it's just a draw. And the idea here, well, now a3 is basically forced, and turns out we can bring our king in time. Now a2 is forced, we bring our king to e3, which says it's an inaccuracy for some reason. But the thing is, well, black is now forced to promote again, literally pushing the a pawn is the only move. But after we take, e5 has to be played. But now the idea here is that we can play king e4, and now this diagonal here is closed, so black is forced to take this pawn, but now we can play king f5, and all of a sudden we are just in time. And some way, somehow, everything has worked to perfection. This pawn here is pinned, so it's just going nowhere. And yeah, black is just forced to move the king. We just take this pawn, and yeah, we can just wiggle our king in and find a way to promote this pawn. You know, bishop e5 move is not the intuitive approach. However, since you only have these two moves to calculate, you can see that e5 is really a problem. You can calculate that bishop e5 leads to a win after this very interesting resource, where the king here is able to grab this pawn, but we can protect the other one. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. I'll keep posting these chess studies, these slightly harder puzzles, because I think they're a very interesting way to make your chess a little bit more creative, seeing all these ridiculous ideas. So yeah, catch you in the next one.